We've got a second live session right now. It's quite weird, sometimes when people ask me that, can I have a conversation with you before and then we can do the video, the live session, so that we can just talk through of what we're going to talk about. What are you going to ask me? Don't put me on the spot, all that kind of stuff. So right now we have got another life coach who I quite a few weeks ago I had taken on one life coach, and this time we've got another one, and I want to see the views of how they see life currently in today's day and age. What are they doing differently in terms of changing people's negatives to positives? And it should be a good one. We've got Paulina joining us shortly. Let's see. There we go. Send her the request. Super. So it should be good. Let's see how it goes. I'm always intrigued to know about, okay, a life coach is there to bring in positivity in you. But what about bringing the positivity in the life coaches? So I'm going to be asking this question as well. Paulina, you're here. I'm going to send you a request. Just give me a second. Here we go. Hello.
Hi, how
How
are
are
you?
you? Good, good. All is well.
Very good. I'm enjoying my nice coffee that I've got with me ready.
Good stuff. Well, I can't enjoy it right now because I'm fasting. So thank you so much for coming on. It's a great pleasure to have you on board in terms of the fact that obviously I have property discussions with everyone every day,
Mhm.
but now I also want to sort of mix it up a bit, and life coaching is one of those aspects which people in today's day and age kind of need it more than before, I guess. Um, so, Paulina, if you can just introduce yourself as to who you are, what you do, and then we can get the conversation going.
My name is Paulina Tatur, and I help women mainly to fully transform their mindset so that they can start accomplishing and achieving the goals that they maybe wouldn't have originally.
Okay.
I want to help women to get really confident. That's what we focus on. Unleash that super confidence that every single woman does possess, but maybe she doesn't realize that she does possess the confidence, or
Yep.
maybe she doesn't know how to tap in to her existing skills and qualities, and we bring them more to the surface. um, so we focus on transforming your mindset so that you can transform the life around you.
Your
uh,
kids, your husband, your family, all that kind of stuff
so
within a
yes,
within a within a within a woman's life, sort of.
yes. So it's very independent to the individual. So everyone is going to have different aspirations, different goals, different dreams, and they will want to take their life in different direction. So we sit down, work out what is it that you actually want, what is it that you want to work on.
Okay.
Is it something to do within the business? Do you want to start a business? Or do you want to just be a more confident version of yourself, and so that you are able to make more firm and quicker decisions
So you
in
look
the
at
life
you look
around
at
you?
personal life and you look at business life all
Yes,
together.
yes,
Okay.
it's whatever you want it to be, but we would cover either area, either business,
Cool.
relationships, life in general.
Quick question. Now, obviously, I want to take you a bit down memory lane. So before we start going at what you're doing right now, which is life coaching, so when you were at school, college, university, did you always think that this is what you wanted to do, or was there another aspiration or a dream that you had that you wanted to fulfill? But no, times put you into this place today. So if you can just take me through what you did at college and uni and why,
Yeah.
what made you
think that you want to do this?
So I've always been super, super passionate about helping other people, whether it comes to family members or friends or even a
And
stranger. Even
that's from a very young age.
yes, it was just
Okay.
there within me. So if someone would come to me for a long, long discussion, you know, asking for advice, what should they do in that situation, or maybe they're upset about something, I always felt really, really excited and really privileged if someone would open up to me and I could help them in any sort of way. So that sort of desire to help and maybe make an impact on other people's lives has always been there. I've always been passionate about that. However, for a really, really long time, I didn't realize that I could turn it into more of a lifestyle and a business and really scale it up. I don't have to keep it within just family and friends. I can really scale it up and help as many women, as many people as possible.
Um, so when you were at university, can you tell me what course did you do at uni?
So I did apply for university and I got in, but I decided not to go because it wasn't just for me. I always wanted to work. It didn't seem
But what did you apply
exciting.
for at uni? What course did you apply?
It was nothing to do with coaching or anything like that. It was textiles, art, design, because I've always
Wow.
been quite creative
So
and wanted to
on
do
the
it.
artistic side. So
Yeah.
had it not been your intention of working when you applied for university,
Mm.
and had you taken that forward, do you think you would be turned into an artist rather than a life coach?
Probably something to do within the fashion industry or textiles industry, anything like that. But so much has happened within that space, within that
Yep,
time, that
yep.
my life could have gone 10 different directions. But I'm happy it has turned out exactly the way it is right now because it feels so perfect. It feels just so perfect.
So you mentioned that you were at you applied for university and then you decided to work.
Yeah,
Was that in the UK or was that
that
uh,
that was in the UK,
that
yes.
was in the UK? And what did you work as? What did you apply for your job as?
I was just interested in working, so I applied for multiple different jobs. It wasn't really a matter of what sort of job it would be to begin with. And
It
then,
was was it just to get more experience on board?
yeah, it was to get experience, to branch out, um, to even get better at communicating with people, just to see what is out there, make connections.
Okay.
And then slowly through that process, you get to know yourself, you try different things. Also, life happens on top of it. And then you realize what is it that you want to do more, or maybe what your strengths are, or what you really are interested in, and which direction you'd like to take your life in. And so, yeah.
So when I would it be correct in asking you that what made you? I know you said that you were speaking to family and friends and people come and open up to you and discuss their life or whatever with you.
Mhm.
But then having an artistic mindset that you possibly would become an artist and then doing life coaching, what changed in that matter of time while you were working as well, um, that you decided that, okay, I think life coaching is the place that I want it to be?
I've gone through different experiences, some of them not so exciting and not so pleasant
These are
to
personal
experience.
experiences.
Yes, not so
Okay.
pleasant to experience, but through all those situations and all those experiences, I have learned so much and I have grown and transformed. I've transformed my mindset mainly, and I've met amazing people. And to answer your question more specifically, it would be my mindset and the idea of how the mind works and what you can actually accomplish from life and how you can take control, of what's going, not so much of what's going on around you, but you can take control of yourself, or of your thinking patterns, of your ambitions. Where do you want to take your life next? And so I got deeply interested in mindset development. I got involved with watching loads and loads of content when it comes to transforming your mindset, making it stronger and more open.
So
And
what were you just using social media as that, or no, you were reading books and speaking to
so reading
other
books,
coaches and all that kind of stuff?
social media. I met also my partner who has been involved deeply in that sort of stuff. So he's
Oh,
been
so you both are life coaches.
yes,
Wow,
yes,
that's amazing.
yes.
Um, so you mentioned that you mainly coach women in their personal and business life. Why
Mm.
not men?
I just wanted to focus on women because I feel like I could really help almost a younger version of myself, so to speak. So I thought that would be the right thing to do. However, the things and the principles and the tools that I'm providing, anyone can implement them.
Anyone can apply them.
Yes, it's open to everyone.
So
It's
if
the
I
same
were to come to you
principles.
today, Paulina, like I've got issues and I've got some negativity in my life right now with all this that's happening around, business is down, all that kind. So you would possibly take me on. It's not that you would turn me around and say, no, I only deal with women.
No, I wouldn't turn you down. No.
Good, super.
Yes.
That's good to know. Um, so then take me through your first ever client. How was the experience?
The experience has been exciting to
And is
start
that
with.
client still your client?
Yes, yes,
That's good.
yes. We're still
How long has she been with you, or how long have they been with you?
about 3 months.
Okay.
That that's roughly enough to get some transformation going, some
Yeah.
sort of changes that you want to work on. We can work out a plan for you, sit down, see where is it that you want to go, what area of your life you want to focus on. We have a long conversation. I see how I can help you, and then we just tackle it from that side. Yeah, we take it from there.
What's a typical person that comes up to you and says, "Okay, Paulina, my life is screwed up right now, and I'm looking to bring it on track. Give me some advice. How would you start up with them, and what would you tell them? Not saying, okay, yes, there is an aspect of business in this because you have to run your house, you have to
Mm.
run your family. It's not just about listening to the other person. They can go and speak to their family members for that.
Mm.
But it's coming to you and you shaping up their life. How do you shape that up?
So if anyone would contact me and come for any sort of advice, I'm always happy to give advice to help someone. I've had people reaching out to me and just asking some questions regarding even how to become a speaker or something like that. So I'm always open to understanding you, listening to you, and giving you some sort of advice that can really help you.
And
Uh, the
because you
next
said, sorry, go ahead.
the next step after that would be ideally arranging for a free session, free coaching call, where we can really figure out what would be the best direction for yourself, and also if we are the right match, if I am what you're looking for, and if we want to work together, if that would work.
Cool. And after you've done that and after you've given them the free coaching, what follows?
So it really depends. If you decide that you'd like to stick with me, you'd like to stick with my coaching plan and carry on with the support. You would like someone to hold you accountable, maybe give you some exercises or homework, so to speak, to do so that you can see the transformation with every step that you take. Then we just
Does it ever
eventually.
happen that, let's say, I come to you and I sit down with you for the coaching and you tell me all this? Like what we see normally, Paulina, is that, okay, you're talking to me right now, and let's say I'm your customer, and I come up to you and
Yeah.
I tell you that, Paulina, I'm going through this. We have an hours long conversation or 2 hours long conversation. But as soon as I leave that door, finished. There's nothing there.
Correct.
How do you overcome that situation?
So it's not as simple as just one conversation a week and that's it. It takes a lot of work and time and focus, determination for you to change and transform your life. So I cannot do it for anyone else, even though I would like to. If I could tell someone what they should do in order to get the results that they want, but the main point is that I cannot do it for someone else. So I'm there to support you, to hold you accountable, and to help you and guide you and offer you that help. But what we really need to make sure is that you are ready and you are willing to put in the work. That is number one thing, because you can pay thousands of pounds for coaches. You can get a lot of education and training in many different industries, but it is entirely up to you what you do with that knowledge, with that training. Are you going to implement it? Are you going to start doing the exercises that I know will help you to make?
And let's say if someone is not implementing that, then what's your strategy behind that?
I can just, if they want to carry on staying with me, and they still know that they want to change and make the transformation, maybe we need to revisit our initial conversation and come up with a different plan. Maybe there is something that maybe else has happened in your personal life, or there is something not helping you in your environment, why you are not making the changes, or maybe you're not committed enough. So we can just.
This is the thing. How do you bring out that commitment in someone? What's the positive energy that you use that person stays committed to the plan that you've given them?
It would be the things that I have used myself, and I know a lot of people keep on using, and they have been really successful through implementing those different techniques. There are so many different things that you could do.
Would you also advise them on possibly what to eat? Because that has a big effect on.
That has a big effect. We can discuss that. Yes, if your diet is not so great, it's always good to improve on your diet. But there's so many things that go into.
Sorry. Hello. Yeah. Paulina, sorry, your internet is going. Hello.
I'm back. I don't know what happened, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry. It's fine. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not sure where we were standing. Oh, yes. So there is so many different aspects that you need to change in order for you to become more focused and more positive about your goals. You have to know, first of all, what is it that you really want to accomplish? And second of all, what is your why? What is your reason? Why do you want to do it? And those things you need to revisit pretty much on a daily basis. You can write it down on a notepad. You can put it somewhere on the mirror, stick it on the wall. It's something that you need to revisit every single day. Because
so you mean that people should keep these post-it notes or comments in front of them all the time to remind them what they want to achieve and where they want to go.
What they want to achieve, where they want to go, and why. Because why do you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish? That's the deeper level of you doing what you're doing. We're all doing something.
Indeed.
Yes, there is, for example, if you're a family person and you want to be the best role model for your children, that could be your motivation every single day, why you get out of bed, even if you're tired, even if you're in a bad mood, or maybe there's other things going on in your life. Your
Yeah,
children
I
might
mean,
not even know.
I have to wake up, when there was school.
Yeah,
No matter I slept at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I knew that I had to
exactly,
wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning
exactly.
and get these guys to school at 8:30 in the morning. So, you know, it's that mindset that you have that no matter what happens, you got to be there, you got to do
Mhm.
it. Now you mentioned women, and women play a major role in every man's life in this world today. We see women who are politicians, women who are business leaders, women who are leading the house, you
Mm.
know, one of the
Mm.
major things. Now, I don't know how strongly you feel about it, but have you ever noticed that a man's mental strength, is it stronger than a woman's mental strength, or is it the other way around?
I wouldn't compare a man to a woman or a woman to a man. I wouldn't do that. I would say a human and another human, because
Okay,
even though we are different in
okay,
so many ways, ultimately it does not make any difference if you are a man or a woman. What it all goes
yep,
down to is you as a person, your mental strength, how long and how much have you been working on yourself. So ultimately, it's all about what you put into yourself, because you can't compare two different people. You can't compare two different women to each other. You can just compare yourself to yourself. So that's one of the biggest things I would say. If people maybe want to get into a relationship and they're looking maybe for someone to make them happier, or to be the
sorry, you're breaking up, Paulina. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, we're having some issues out here. Hello, Paulina, can you hear me?
we're back.
Yep, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Um, so
Connection.
because there are a lot of women in the world that go through a lot of different issues, for example, um, domestic violence, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, abuse, rape, uh, and also within the workspace environment, you know, where men are regarded higher
Mm-hmm.
than women, and we see it all the time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
many women are in the employment ratio, men are always on the higher ratio than the women. Do women ever come up to you speaking about all these things, about what's going on in their personal life or professional life that is affecting them really strongly, and that's bringing them down completely?
Sorry, it just cut you off there. I lost connection. I'm not sure what the question was.
The question was that, you know, like obviously women go through with all this domestic violence and everything
Mm-hmm.
in their personal life, professional life. They have employment issue with
Mm-hmm.
their boss or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do women come up to you speaking about all these issues that they face in their personal life or work life that has a negative effect on their life completely?
Yeah, yes, I have experienced that. And if your environment at home, for example, is not the right environment, is going to be one of the hardest things, abilities and so the environment around you, especially at home, It's a massive priority, because that's when ultimately you need to come back after a long day at work, be able to reset, relax, charge your batteries, do.
So we're having some internet issues right now for some reason. We should be back live again. Sorry about this. Uh, so we're just talking about Paulina, who is a life advises a lot of women within her job, coaching on their personal life, on their professional life, on their business, all that kind of stuff. So we're just getting into the conversation about how um, sort of domestic violence or not being on the equal side of the employment ratio. We were talking about that, Paulina. So if you can take us through that of how do you deal with a woman that comes up to you and says that, okay, I'm going through domestic violence right now, or my at my workplace, my boss is really hard on me, and he's not hard with other men in the company, but it's just women that he's not, how do you deal with that sort of situation if someone comes up to you?
It would really depend on the level, and because there's different depths for people that are going through matters like that, and I might not be the right person sometimes to maybe help someone who is going through a very traumatic experience, that is going to take a lot longer for them to grow, get better, and get out of that environment. Number one, it's fantastic that that person is seeking out help. That's number one thing, because we want to make sure that people like that feel comfortable, and that they can reach out to you, open up, and say what they're going
Just to
through.
stop you there, what maybe if you can answer this question, what are the right amount of arguments that a husband and wife should have at home?
I don't know if you can put a number on it.
I mean, just bearing that in mind, like, let's say, okay, like in my culture, in the kitchen, right? You have pots, you have pans, you have crockery, you have cutlery. When you put all them together, and let's say you're taking out a pan, they will rattle,
Yes.
right? So it's like that, right? When you put the family members in the same house, husband, wife, like right now, we're seeing so much of this going on. Like child abuse is on
Mm,
the up, domestic violence is on the up.
mm,
The amount of divorces that are taking
mm.
place are on the up.
Yeah.
Uh, Pregnancies might be on the up in the 9 months time that we see it. But the fact is, how can you get someone out of that situation and bring that positivity in them?
So
And
number one,
yeah,
yes, it's not up to someone else to come and save you and change your circumstances for you, or maybe make some transformations around you, get you out of a certain situation. Ultimately, it is entirely up to the individual to make the right changes. If you are seeking the help, if you are thinking about making those changes, and you feel like you do want to change your environment or get out maybe of a dangerous situation, that's a good start already, because you're thinking it's not right. Obviously you're not going to feel it's right, but you're also
yeah,
thinking, how can I improve it? What can I do to change it? It's entirely up to you how much work you're going to put to it. Are you going to go and seek professional help? Are you going to open up maybe to someone you can trust? There's ultimately, it's always dependent on the person. It's always
gotcha.
dependent on the person. So but there's different depths and different
So
levels,
it,
so I
it
cannot
so
cover all of it.
it has to come within you, and then you go and seek that help, and then from that help you got to keep working on yourself to come
Yes.
out positive from all the negative situation that you
Yes,
can see.
there is people who are trapped in abusive relationships, and I say trapped because they feel like they are trapped. They feel like there is no way out. They don't even realize they can get out. They don't even realize it's up to them to change the circumstances. So we need
Do
to
you think
take it
it's a
a
lot of
step back.
it's a lot of dependency that goes on between relationships and all that kind of stuff?
Well, what do you mean?
Dependencies meaning, like, let's say some you just mentioned trapped, right? So
Mm,
trapped for a reason that they think that that's it, this is my life. I can't go anywhere from here.
mhm,
I can't go anywhere from my husband. I can't go anywhere from my kid. And if I do go away
mhm.
from my husband, what about my kids?
Leave this job.
Exactly,
If I do
exactly,
leave this job, then how am I going to feed my family? You know, so they
exactly.
could be trapped in their house, or they could be trapped in their office. So, but like you mentioned, you can only talk so much to someone, but in effect, it's from themselves that they have to
It's
change.
from, and ultimately it is a process. It's not like that, because it might take time for you to realize that there is a solution. It might take time for you to realize that you are in control of your life, and you can change it, improve it, and make it into something fantastic. From something really horrible, you feel like you can't get out of the situation. It is within your power, but it's a process, and it does need to come from the individual. It cannot come from the outside, because probably there is people from the environment coming in and telling that person, you know, you need help, or maybe you should get out of this relationship. But ultimately, if the person doesn't want to do that, it doesn't come out of them, it's not going to happen.
So someone should remember that it's all about them.
Yes, and to answer your question before about arguing, it's an interesting topic, isn't it? But ultimately, it's just communication, isn't it? When you sometimes work out and work backwards from a little issue or argument with your partner, and then you share with each other in a nice, calm manner what was the actual issue. You
Yeah, yeah.
realize the issue you're talking
We
about.
have this. We have this always.
Yeah, it's so different.
We may fight during the day, but then when it comes in the evening, like right now it's Ramadan, right? So we
Yeah.
have to eat at like about 3 a.m.
Okay.
So at 3 a.m., kids are sleeping.
Mm.
It's quiet. You know, we put on some TV and we eat, and then at that point we'll have a joking conversation. You know, just to recreate back at. Hold on a second. Why did we fight about it? You know, but
Exactly.
in that moment, in that time, it just becomes the only way to get out of a situation is okay, argue about it. But anyways, you know, it's life. Um, what would you um quickly before we wrap up this conversation, I want to know, how are you adopting to the new normal, and what have you got planned to move yourself forward in this new normal?
So the way I've been dealing with it is just making sure that I do something that I really enjoy every single day, even if it's for 10-15 minutes. Just take time out of the day. If you've got a busy job, you've got a family, just make sure, because if you take time for yourself, then you're going to come back refreshed, feeling a lot more positive and a lot better to be there for your family, and you know, to be the father or the mother or the partner that you should be. But for me personally, it would be going for a walk, having a little bit of fresh air, maybe dancing in my house, you know, putting a music on a really loud volume,
Yep,
just
yep,
dancing
yep,
around.
yep.
So exercise,
So
cook,
basically 10-15 minutes of the day, take it out for yourself, think
definitely.
positive.
Do something that you enjoy, yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever makes you almost switch off for a little bit from the noise, from the problems, from everything that's going around you, and also have something bigger that you're looking forward to. So have something that you're really excited about for the future. Maybe work on some project that you've been working, or maybe start learning something. Or there's so many different ways you can make sure that you focus on the good within the difficult and the new situation that we're not used to. But it all comes down into how would you like to come out, and what would you like to get out of this time now? If you're struggling, what can you do to get better? Is there something, maybe some help out there online? Maybe there's someone you can talk to. You know, there's so many different things that people can do in order to stay stronger, more positive, and excited for what's coming after. Have something to look forward to, you know?
So are you from people for life coaching them or advice or anything? Are you still doing that currently?
Sorry, I lost you, so I only got the last bit of the point that you said.
No, I was saying that, are you currently taking calls and jobs on a virtual basis, I guess, on Zoom calls and WhatsApp calls? Are you still advising people and coaching them?
Yes, that's been my main and the most exciting part of everyone, you know, being at home in this situation. For me, it's being focusing on helping others, focusing on getting my online program ready, focusing on you know, on helping other women, giving them advice, creating a piece of content, something positive that will put a smile on your face. Also, I'm excited about going back to speaking on big stages again and being with people and things like that. So I'm focusing on others mainly, and that's been my fuel, my main fuel, really.
Now, one final question. It's all good and well when you're coaching someone, right? Because they're down. How do you bring yourself up when you're down? Do you take coaching, or no, you have that mental strength that no, gotta stay positive?
Sometimes I take time out. Sometimes I'll take a few minutes out to myself and just reset. And one of the things I have been implementing for quite a while now, it's been working really great, is just a little exercise, which is, okay, hold on. What is it that I am grateful for? What is it that I should be really happy about? Because that one adjustment in your mindset, you can't be upset, you can't be mad, you can't be anything else when you're feeling and thinking something really appreciated, something that you are grateful for. Either it's your health, your family, the fact that you have a beautiful weather, or maybe you had a nice meal today. It doesn't matter. It could be small, it could be gigantic, but just thinking about something something that you can be really thankful for and grateful for.
And if you think that on a daily basis, that's what keeps your momentum going.
It really helps. Yes, it's massive. It's really massive. And just to go back on the point that you said, people are down and come to get coached. That's very often, I think, the idea of why would people get someone to coach them or help them. That is not necessarily the case. Very often you'll get people who are not down necessarily. They maybe don't struggle with anything in particular to the level that you have described. But what it is that they have some sort of ambitions and they have some sort of goals, but they're just not sure how to take the next step. So they're not necessarily struggling or having maybe some sort of issues. They just maybe have questions, or maybe need a little bit of direction of someone who's already done it. So it's very often people who maybe even have businesses and things like that, but they just want to take it to the next level, and they just feel a little bit stuck maybe.
And to come and to take them to the next step, I think they should come to you for that, I guess.
That'd be fantastic.
But thank you so much for the amazing advice and super kind knowledge that you've shared today in terms of what you're doing and how you're helping women bring out that positivity in them. It's really good to know about. I mean, I've never come across someone on a personal basis who actually help women and coach them in life personal, business, whatever it may be. You know, I hear a lot about life coaches and all that kind of stuff that goes on in the outer world, but I'm experiencing this on first-hand basis, and it's good to know about these things. There are people out there in the world like yourself that are doing their best to make this a positive world. So good luck with whatever you're doing, and I hope you keep on coaching more women, bring the best positivity out in them, and wish you all the very best. And stay safe and look after yourself.
You too. I've really enjoyed it. We should keep in touch. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paulina.
Bye-bye.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Paulina Tator, who runs a life coaching business strategy to help women and men. Of course, she did not say that she turns down men, but it's more about the women that come and get that life advice from her. So thank you so much to people that tuned in and heard the conversation. You can hear this conversation again live for the next 24 hours on my platform. And have a great day. Enjoy the Friday. See you soon. I've got another live session at 6 p.m. today with a London-based property agent, Richard Ashby, of, well, his user ID is Premium Porridge, and I'm going to ask him why Premium Porridge. So speak soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.